everybody, welcome back to my channel. Good morning, vlogsters. So wake up. Does it say wake up? It does say wake up, right? You want to take that first sip with me because I need it. I think if you stick around to the end, I have a sort of a vloggy type of, you can watch me take my Metamucil and do my hair and stuff you want. Coffee first. We have quite a day ahead of us. I just wanted to catch up and tell you guys how the trip was. And I mean, I know I mentioned in the car vlog how it was just such a blessing, and then having Lisa here. So Lisa stuck around an extra day to take us into St. Louis to IKEA. And that's really all we did. We did like, we wanted to do like a click and collect, they call it. It's kind of like curbs. I don't know what that's. Candle always drives me crazy. The click and collect is like a curbside pickup. So, oh my goodness. What I decided to do was to apply for a Home Depot project card, which is basically like their in-store credit card, not like their Visa credit card, because it gives you 6 months interest-free, 0% financing for 6 months. And I was like, okay, we can have the thing paid off in 6 months, so that'd be good. And this way we don't have to wait and come up with the money and then like see if whatever I have to get done doesn't need surgery. If I can drive, I don't really know anything just yet, you know? So what we decided to do was apply for that. And I did apply for that the day before I left for Texas. Now, I don't know. Oh, I do know why I did that, because of budget. So I was like, if I don't have to save up the money for the furniture today and I could pay it off, then I have a X, Y, and Z budget for going to Texas. And really, we didn't go anywhere. We went to one Dollar Tree shopping trip, which I will tell you the truth was the first one in months. So it was sort of like in my Dollar Tree budget for the channel. But it was really just about like food and like, you know, what can we eat? We could buy groceries and that kind of thing. So just trying to figure out budget-wise. So we did that. I applied for it. I was able to print a temporary pass so that I could order the stuff. Now, I knew they had this click and collect, and I knew like with my limited mobility and Lisa's limited mobility with her hip, she moves way better than I do, and she needs like a hip replacement. So I don't know what's going on with me. But that it would be better to do this click and collect. Well, when we got home, I tried to order the furniture on Saturday, but they wouldn't let me schedule a pickup day for Monday. I could only schedule for Sunday. Like you could only do it like a day in advance, which was weird. So, okay. I don't know if I just don't have it figured out yet or whatever. So we went and I waited till the next morning, and then I went to go put my temporary shopping pass card number in, and unbeknownst to me, it was only a 7-day pass. I didn't realize it expired in 7 days. Basically, the CVV number expires in 7 days. So I was like, oh, great. So then I go to call the bank, but now it's, oh, this was Sunday, I'm sorry. I go to call the bank, but the bank is closed. The credit card bank is closed on Sundays. So I wait till Monday morning, and I go to call, and the lady was saying, there's nothing I can do to give you account number over the phone. I'm sorry, you have to wait for your card to come. Or she said they can look up your account at the store. So I was like, okay. And she actually put me through to customer service at IKEA that maybe I could order it from her over the phone. She could look up my account information, and then I could do click and collect like that. So she transfers me, and I talked to IKEA representative, and she said, sorry, ma'am, we can't look up your account here. We have to look it up in store. So she said, just take your temporary shopping pass and your ID, and they'll be able to look it up at the register. I said, okay. Well, they weren't. I actually went in, and before I shopped, I said, I just want to make sure that the lady at the 800 number wasn't lying to me. So I went to a register. She got the front end manager, who, poor Tim. Thank you, Tim, if you're ever watching YouTube and you just happen to catch this, Tim in St. Louis. It was his 5th day. He was still in training. And he's like, you're teaching me things because you're making me learn things that I didn't think would ever come up. So, or may never have come up, I think is what the way he put it, or the way I put it. I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's a blur. So I asked him, and he said, hold on. And he went to go talk to the big customer service, like the desk. And she said, yeah, no problem. Just go to take the temporary pass and your ID and go to the register. And I told Tim, I told the cashier, I told Tim that the pass is expired. I told the lady on the phone that the pass was expired, right? So, okay. So we go do shopping. I asked Tim if there was anybody that can help me, because my intention was to do click to collect because I have limited mobility and I really can't walk around IKEA. And IKEA has shopping carts, but they don't provide the, like, scooter things that some stores have. And I don't have one of my own, obviously, because, you know, I'm not expecting to need it forever. I'm just needed to get my knee fixed, and that's it. So anyway, he's like, sure, no problem. Go back to the iDesk, do everything you want. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And he goes back to that. Actually, what he said was, if you write down everything that you want and you can go to the iDesk, they can help you get everything. And I was like, actually, this isn't my first time at IKEA. I'm an expert at IKEA. I know you write stuff down, but I was like, I have it all on my phone because I was going to order it, like I said. And he goes, oh, yeah, just go straight back to the help desk there. So I go straight back, and there's, it says credit desk, and it was what I was looking for, but it wasn't how he described it. So James came over, oddly enough. So I have Tim and Jim. Jim, he introduced himself as Jim, and I said to tell my story, and I said, is there anybody who can help me gather all these things? I was like, I have limited mobility. My friend has limited mobility. I only have one day to get all this. And I said, and my husband is going to have to, like, save whatever physical strength he has to get stuff in and out of the car. And he's like, no problem, ma'am. That's what we do. So I was like, oh. So I showed him my phone, and he took down all his items on his little pad. And he's like, I have to just go into the thing for one of your items. So I was like, okay. I found a queen size cooling comforter for Lisa for $7.99. She has a comforter that she sleeps with. She just likes to sleep straight with a comforter, no sheet or other, like, blanket. And hers was just like, it was just loved to death. Let's just put it that way. So she really needed a new one. And I gave her one from my house, which is a little thicker. But this one, I thought cooling, you know, that actually might be better, especially for the summertime. So, and you could put a duvet on it or not. And she was thinking about all these great ideas for it. But for only $8, I was like, definitely. So he went and got that. And then all the rest of the stuff was pretty much there, except the mattress. And I will tell you the mattress story when I'm done telling you the IKEA story, even though that's in backwards order. I know you'll see the video eventually, probably tomorrow. You might see the video tomorrow or the next day. I'm not exactly 100% sure, because I have a doctor's appointment today, and I might vlog again tomorrow just to give you guys an update. But anyway, in the next couple of days will be the mattress story, so it's probably going to be the story on there too. But anyway, so the mattress in general was, whether it was, unless it was click to collect, it's always, if you're doing self-service, you have to still get a team member to get that for you, because it's a pickup. It's like a large, heavy pickup item that they do over, like, in this special area. Excuse me. So we did that. He got everything for us. He was so sweet. He said the storage cubies, I actually noticed when I was on my way to him that there was a big box of them right by the aisle where the storage system is. It's Calyx or Calyx. You know, with the IKEA language, it's sort of, it's not made up. There's the science to it, but I don't know it, is what I'm trying to say. It's Kallax. I've always said Calyx, but I know that we say call, like when you're making a phone call with the double L. So I don't know, whatever it is. But I say Calyx, so Calyx. Anyway, the systems are like down the aisle where you can get the parts, and then the cubies were on the end. So I said to him, he's like, the only thing I haven't got for you is the drone. I said, listen, Jim, you've been so excellent. We passed the droners on the way. We'll stop and get them on the way. And he's like, you sure? And I was like, absolutely 100%. I said, 100%. You did so much for us. Thank you. So we brought in our own IKEA bag because I wanted to fit those cubies in an IKEA bag, but I realized that they're too long. I could have basically made like a folder for them, but then nothing else would have fit in the bag. So I just ended up getting other things. So while we're waiting online, or on the way to line, because IKEA knows how to do this, Jim said go to aisle 6, go to register 6, because I had originally asked the lady over at register like 10. She was like, he was like, go to register 6, because that's where Lisa's sitting. There's seats there. And that's where Lisa's sitting. So I was like, okay. So we go to register 6. And the man, Robert, he's so sweet. He just was taking a little longer trying to figure things out, which is okay. We have patience, right? But I'm in pain because I waited a long time and I'm so sweaty and so hot. It's incredible. I thought I asked Jim to bring me a shopping cart with him, and when he found me, he didn't have one, so I didn't really have anything to lean on that was tall. I had to lean on my walker, which is kind of low, and then that hurt my back more, and I'm sweaty. Come to figure out, like, 15 minutes later that I have my dress on backwards, and the thing's up to here choking me, and I'm sweating all over it. It was a comical mess, but let me tell you. So we're online, and while we're online, I said to him, did you find your lingonberry jam? Now, the Nordic book recipe has at least two recipes that call for the lingonberry jelly that he wanted to try. So I was like, that's the perfect place to get it. I got free $10 for my birthday for being like a family member. So I was like, we could just spend the $10 on that, you know, because we had the other stuff in budget already. And he's like, oh, I didn't see any. I was like, oh, that's so weird. So literally I'm on the register and they have like toilet brushes, like random items like footstools, just like in these big boxes. And then I look to the right and there's a freezer case that always has the Swedish meatballs, and right on the shelf above it is the lingonberry jelly, which was funny because usually that's one of the ways to serve these meatballs from IKEA is you make the cream and then you, yeah, but oh, so good. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So I was like, oh, get some Swedish meatballs. They're there. And we met this really nice couple and they were asking about them and we were like, they're really good. And she's like, these ones look weird. And Jim's like, those are potatoes. Don't get those. And I was like, don't get the potatoes. I'm doing keto. We just had a good time. So, we got them. And then another thing that's at the register was batteries. And I really like the IKEA batteries. They're a really, really good bargain normally. They just didn't have any AAAs out. They only had AA's. So I was like, just pick up a pack. He's like, we don't really need them. I'm like, we always need batteries. With your gaming system, we always need batteries. I think it says headphones, really. But I don't remember what he uses batteries for so much. Wish I could remember. Anyhow, long story short. Short story, really long. I'll get to the register. First of all, they have these tiny, I really wish I could get for you, but I'm sitting. These tiny IKEA bag keychains for 79 cents. I got one for me and I got one for Lisa. I just about died. I was like, first of all, these are the cutest things to throw a dirty mask in. Just while you're out, like sticking on your keys. Or a clean mask to keep, like, you always have a clean mask with you. Because you always have your keys with you, you know. But anyway, so we got just a few things there, and I got like a dish brush, a small dustpan brush combo for Eric. I think they were 99 cents. Those ones were $1.99. Just really like cute little things or whatever. So we go to the register, we check out. We have this piece of paper that he has to scan for the mattress. And then I have my temporary pass and I got my ID. And the guy at the register tells me what to do with the temporary pass, and I do that. And I said, well, it's expired. So they said the CVV number won't work. So he goes to bypass the CVV number, and it gives an error message, and he doesn't recognize the error message, so he clicks off of it. So then I said, well, I spoke to Tim this morning, and he said they looked up that it's okay, what to do. And he's like, so he calls Tim, and I apologize to the lady behind me. I said, I'm really sorry. So she's like, it's okay. And I was like, you sure? And she's like, yeah, it's okay. And she's like, it's nothing you can do. And then Jim's getting frustrated with me. He's like, wish you would have fixed this up before. I was like, you were here when we got here to see that I asked. And everybody said, yeah, no problem. Like, I did. I said, you didn't see this morning that I was on the phone from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. with different customer service people from different areas to try to get this whole thing straightened out. But anyhow, so Tim comes and he says, let me see. And the guy, Robert, puts, you can leave at IKEA, which is really cool. You can leave your order at the register, in the register, without canceling it out, not having to re-ring it. And, cause especially when I did a family member, like, so they scanned my family member card. And then somebody can come back to it later. So he was able to, like, basically put my order aside and finish the people he had in line. And I was like, I'm really sorry. Meantime, I had everything bagged up. I had meatballs that were defrosting, and it was just all, I mean, it wasn't defrosting. It was IKEA. It wasn't cold. I mean, it wasn't hot in there. So we moved everything to the bench where Lisa was. And Tim said, I said, Tim, I'm just going to sit down here. And he's like, that, please do. Then he said to me, he finally realized this, comes back a few minutes later. He goes, I'm sorry it took me so long. The person who can help you is actually at lunch. And will be for about another 15 minutes. And I said, he's like, would you mind waiting? And I was like, no. I was like, I looked at Lisa, I looked at Jim, and I said, today's the day. Like, I don't know when I'll get back into the city. And she's already here. And she's like, I don't care. She's like, I don't have anything else to do except go and rest. You know, I'm resting here, I'm resting there. And Jim, of course, his frustration level went from 0 to 900. I tried to get him to, like, walk around, go see other things. There's areas of IKEA he always likes to look at. To go look at the groceries, whatever, just to keep himself busy. Because the worst thing that Jim can do when he's frustrated with, like, impatient with waiting, is to wait and do nothing. I'm like, go. Like, you don't have to be here. You have your phone. The phone works in IKEA. You know, go shop. Go look at art. Go see if you see any Norwegian patterns of fabrics that you might like or something. I don't know. But he didn't want to. So he just sat there. And then Lisa was at the point, she was like, you have to stop commenting on him, making sure he's okay. Because he can sometimes, I've mentioned it before, be like a 5-year-old. And she was pointing it out to me. She's like, he's being unnecessary. Is like, that's the best way she put it, I think. And I said, I know. She's like, you have to stop letting it bother you. Because it's like feeding into negative attention. And I was like, you know what, you're right. It's just so hard when a person that your sole goal in life is to make happy, for them to verbally and obviously physically be miserable or unhappy or make the sighs and noises that your first intention is to want to fix and make it better. Especially when you feel responsible, because it's not my responsibility, but I was the one who wanted to choose to go in today and do all these things. So kind of it is, kind of it isn't, whatever it is. So we waited the 15 minutes. Jim actually, I said, it was about 5 minutes in, and I said, oh man, I realized I never looked at my clock when he said 15 minutes. And Jim said, I did, and it's about 6 more minutes. And I was like, oh, sweet. So we waited, and finally he came. Terrence, what a nice guy. Another really nice, I just wrote a review on the IKEA website because these people were all amazing. Tim, Jim, Robert, you know, even Robert with his difficulties, he came in back and checked up on us when he was off shift, and I thought that was just the sweetest thing ever. And he's like, you guys, and he gave me a thumbs up. He's like, you okay? You taken care of? And I was like, yes, I am. Which, by the way, if you've never been to IKEA, they refer to, we don't refer to them as customer service or cashier. They're actually co-workers, because IKEA is a self-service place. These are people who work there as well, like we work there. It's kind of cute the way they did that. And one thing that I always do at IKEA, but I was so tired and hot and sweaty, is go to the as-is section. And I did not go to the as-is section. And I was very disappointed in myself because you usually can find some really good bargains there. And also lighting. Jim needs lamps for his table, and I wanted to get some lamps for his table. I really wish I had the energy or strength or capabilities of walking around the store because, first of all, it's really great exercise. Even if you join the family member, you get a hot drink. Now, the cafe part was closed. Not the restaurant upstairs, but the little cafe they have with the 50-cent hot dogs. Because still from the pandemic. But you can go up to the thing and get like a hot coffee and a to-go cup for free every time you visit as a family member. And you can walk around the store and just get your steps in. They have so much mileage. I really actually wonder how much. A lot of times, depending on the layout of the store and the footprint of the store, is you take an escalator and elevator upstairs is usually where the showroom is. You can walk the whole showroom, which usually starts out with like living room sets and then bedroom sets and then kitchen. Now they have kitchen cabinets and stuff. Not now, but they've had them for a long time. But I remember when they did it. I remember when the kitchen cabinets were new. And so you can go through like bathrooms and kitchens and basically all like the nurseries, and then the restaurants upstairs, and then downstairs, again, depending on the layout, downstairs is where the marketplace is. Now, when you enter the front door, you can start at the marketplace if you want to avoid, like if you just want to go there and you know what you need, you could start at the marketplace. And there's also a ball pit. Normally, I don't know if the ball pit area is open. They have a child care area for you. You don't have to walk your kids all over the store if you don't want to. It's highly rated. I just don't know if it's open because of the pandemic. It might be closed because of the pandemic. But anyhow, you could just go to the marketplace and do all the shopping. The marketplace is laid out where, first of all, they have a map. They give you a map with a piece of paper on the back that has like a list where you can write down all the item numbers that you could pick them up when you're in the warehouse. I call it the warehouse. I don't know what everybody else calls it. They have a name for it. They do have a name for it. The self-service area. They might have the name for it, self-service area. But the marketplace has like sort of secret shortcuts where, you know, you go through kitchenwares first, and then from kitchenwares, say you go to textiles. I'm not quoting this, don't quote me. But say you go to textiles. Well, in textiles, there's a secret door that says, go straight to organization. So then, or you can keep going through textiles to artwork, or whatever, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you do understand what I'm trying to say. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of like go in with purpose, or you can go and get your steps. You can just walk around for the sake of walking around. It's really, I like it. Plus, I've mentioned before about IKEA. First of all, I was nostalgic because my very first video that I ever did on my channel was an IKEA bag hack. And just those IKEA bags, when I first started shopping at IKEA, the bags were 49 cents. That's how old I am. No, I'm kidding. The bags only used to have 2 little handles. Now they have big handles and little handles. And I talked about all of the great things that these bags are good for. So if you want to check that out, you can go back to oldest. You could sort my videos by oldest video, and maybe you'll find that one. But anyway, I've just always loved IKEA, and the thing I like about it is that it is put together furniture, you know, but it's, depending on your budget, is the quality. And I don't mean that because even the cheap stuff is better quality than like the cheap stuff at Walmart, in my opinion. But if you have, like, say I'm looking for a kitchen cart, I can get one for $14.99. I can get one for $30. I can get one for $70. I can get one for $120. Depending on your budget, obviously, will just depend, and you have a variety there. The one that they have for $29.99 is like the one that you kind of see at Michael's sometimes, except now it's got a wooden top on the top shelf, which is kind of cool. I had gotten that cart when I was at the apartment the second time to hold the dish rack next to the sink, and then I would roll it into the hallway when I wasn't doing dishes. So, anyhow, I'm all over the place. Sorry about that. So, that's what I love about IKEA. They have a buffet upstairs, like a smorgasbord. You can always get Swedish meatballs. They usually always have pork chops. The food's really good. It's really not expensive. It's really inexpensive. They have like a family club card where you can get, like, I mentioned the free coffee every time, or free hot beverage is what they actually say, so you can get tea. It could be hot or cold, but I think it's hot. And like I said, the food's inexpensive. You get discounts and stuff. They have special sales for family members and deals and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. And then, of course, I got a $10 birthday present. So $10 just to spend randomly. So, so after a while, Terrence comes back and he says, sorry it took so long. I had to have her. I tried to run my system and he goes, my numbers, I had to I don't know, his numbers were like he had to get re-access to the system. Basically, he was like, he hadn't used this particular system so long that he had to like basically re-register himself almost. And then he's like, so I went to the other lady and she had to do the same thing. So basically, not only is this a unique problem that brand new problem that Tim had to learn, but I, you know, basically manager and upper management. And I said, I'm just training everybody today, aren't I? He said, yes, you are. So he said, the only thing, I have everything. He comes back down. I'm like, I have everything. I just need the last 4 digits of your social. I was like, no problem. So I give that to him. And he talks over the walkie-talkie for her. And he goes, what did he say? Oh, he said, okay, got it. And he's like, okay, she's going to be bringing it down in a few minutes. She'll be right here. And I was like, that's no problem. We're still sitting down, so I'm okay. The bench isn't super comfortable because it's like wooden slats, but it's better than standing, in my opinion. So, and Lisa said the same thing. She's like, I'm sitting, I'm okay. When we both went to go get up, we're like, this isn't a very comfortable bench. But we really did sit there for a long time. Probably a half an hour total, because once she came down with the paperwork, I told him actually before she came down with the paperwork. No, he waited for the paperwork. I said, I did it all on Register 6. And there also is the paperwork there from my couch. I mean, my mattress. So he goes over to Register 6, prints the big receipt, puts in the money, brings over the receipt and the paperwork. He gives me a new temporary pass. He gives me the thing to go get my couch, mattress. Why do I keep saying couch? I didn't get a couch. The thing to get my mattress, and my receipt, and that's it. I was just like, thank you so much. He was so kind. Everybody was so helpful. You know, Jim gets frustrated when processes don't work, but I am frustrated when people don't care enough to help you when processes don't work. I think that's probably what frustrates me the most. So Jim went up to the window to get the mattress. Like I told you guys, we had to go pick it up at a special area. And then he needed the receipt, so he had to come back for the receipt. And it said we'd have to just wait 10 minutes. We're like 3rd in line or whatever. Kind of like when you go to Walmart, that self-checkout. If you have the one, some have the ones with the machines. Some have the ones with the, they had the ones, I should say, with the monitor up there that told you when you checked in, what order you would be helped in. Now you can pick your site to store pickup stuff in the drive-thru, which I'm not the drive-thru, the drive-up, and I'm so appreciative of that. So we waited, we got the mattress. Lisa's like, I'm going to go pull the car up into the loading zone. I said, perfect, thank you so much. And I'm sorry this took so long. She said, please stop apologizing to me. Stop apologizing in general. So we had this whole big conversation, which I love her so much. She was such, you know what, she was, damn. She was such an amazing help to get me out of the house. But this time, she was that tough love that I needed, but also very gentle. She She gives very gentle, tough love most of the time. And I miss her, so. It is a conversation about saying sorry all the time. And how it really does affect everything. So I said, I know for years that it's a terrible habit that I use the word for way too much. Like, if I can't hear somebody, I don't say, excuse me, can you repeat that? I'll say, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. And then if I bump into somebody, I'm sorry. If I feel like I'm inconveniencing somebody, I'm sorry. If I feel like I'm sympathetic, I'm sorry. Just for all the things, you know, like, and it's like too much. So I've been trying to use other language. So I said to her, I'm sorry it took so long. I mean, I'm sympathetic to your pain and thankful for your patience for waiting. She was like, that's better. So she went and got the car, and Jim got the mattress, and we walked out to the elevator and down. And I held the cart while he loaded, because the cart's there. If you've never been there, it's got like 2 handles, the long flatbed sort of carts that you can put all the big furniture on. All the wheels move independently at, you know, 360 degrees. So it's like somebody needs to hold a few while I pull furniture off, or else it goes that way. So I stood at the back, and I held on to the cart while Jim loaded the car. And then I got in, and we went home. Hold on. I did originally want to go to the good Dollar Tree that I really like in Kirkwood, but I didn't, we didn't really have a lot of time. It took a lot more time in IKEA. Plus, me having to stand there so long took a lot of time as well. Just to stand there waiting. It was no place to sit. Because of the pandemic, they took up all the benches and seats. So, you're just waiting, standing, leaning. It's tiring. Even after I've rested, I'm just tired. I like spindly spoons. You know, resting, sometimes you can collect a couple of spoons back, but you can't usually collect a lot, and not usually enough. So, I said to her in the car, Sharon and I do tons of movie and music and TV show quotes. Like, just randomly, we'll hear a word and we'll just quote a random phrase that we've heard from a movie. But Lisa's not like that. She's like, you guys are crazy. So I said to her, I know you're not like this. And I know you probably saw Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory a long, long time ago. So I said, when they get into the boat, Veruca gets on and she's like, I want a boat like this, Daddy. I want a boat like this. And then because it's such a scary ride, when she gets off the boat, she's like, I do not want a boat like this. Well, I got into this car and I finally caught my breath and driving over, and I was like, do you remember how I said I want to go to the Dollar Tree? I said, yeah. She goes, yeah. I said, I do not want to go to the Dollar Tree anymore. She's like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah, please. Thank you so much. I love that Dollar Tree in Kirkwood, on Kirkwood Road. If you guys are ever interested, it's next to the new Aldi, or some Burlington Coat Factory, across the street from Target. There's really good ones in St. Louis, but that one was probably one of my favorites. That's by Aunt Sue. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of good ones. I shouldn't say that, but they're all like a little different, you know. Anyway, so we ended up just coming home. Jim called Mom and said, hey, it took us a lot longer. Do you have something to eat for dinner? And she's like, yeah. So she ate, and then we realized that there's a White Castle in St. Louis, and Lisa used to have White Castle in New York, but they don't have it in Texas. And when she grew up in Georgia, they had something called Crystal Burger. If you guys are from the South, you know what I'm talking about. Crystal Burger is very similar to White Castle, except with mustard. That's how I describe it. So she was like, ooh, White Castle. And I was like, let's go. You know, it's my treat. You're driving, and hey, White Castle's like cheap date, you know? Like 3 people can eat for like less than 20 bucks. So we went to White Castle. We called Mom and said, do you want us to try to bring us White Castle home? And she said no. Because the last time we did, she thought the food had gotten maybe like off temperature and it made her like a little ill. So she was like, I don't want to do that again. I'm like, okay. So the only time we'll go now, she loves White Castle, so we'll go now. When we go into the city, we'll stop and she can get it. Anyhow, we ate, and then as we got closer to town, Jim was asleep, as he always is in the car. And I said, I called her and I said, do you want us to pick you something up in town? And she's like, oh no, I just finished eating. I was like, okay, thanks. Just wanted to check before I come, you know, make sure you did. And I said, Jim's asleep. I know he said about White Castle, but, you know, we're in town now. We can get you whatever. She's like, no, thank you. So I was like, all right. So we came in. Now, part of, like, Lisa took her car to Texas. So originally when we planned the trip and the budget for the trip and everything, it's like she was going to come up and visit. And if I was going to go down, she was going to bring me back to Texas. We were going to take my car and my gas to get to and from Texas. And then she was going to drive to Missouri and then drive back. Well, technically she went to Georgia, so. But we ended up taking her car. I mentioned it in the vlog that her car was just much easier for me to get in and out of. I do kind of feel really bad for Jim because he felt very, he was full of stuff in the back seat. You know, her obviously storage-wise, trying to fit luggage and pillows for 3 people. So, like, sort of as compensation for taking her car, saving the wear and tear on my car, I guess, we bought her, she wanted a Calyx system that was 2x4. So basically it's 2 rows of 4 that she wants to put her TV on when her son goes to college in the living room. And I just wish I was there to help her. I really do. But anyhow, so when we got back, Jim put her seats down in her car. Actually, he fixed her car up before we went to measure to make sure there was room in her Prius to hold the box and stuff. Because if you go on IKEA's website, they not only tell you the dimensions of the completed piece of furniture, but they also tell you the box's dimensions and the box's weight. So hers came in 1 box, ours comes in 2. So when we got back to the house, he lined up the 2 cars. Like, she backed in up to her trunk and we popped it open and she just slid all that in, or he did slid all that in. And he had told him just leave the other stuff. We're not going to deal with the mattress tonight. We're not going to deal with our cubies till we're ready to go in the office. So he said, okay. And we just left it for Monday night. I knew Lisa was leaving on Tuesday. Yesterday was my brother Rob, would have been my brother Rob's 39th birthday. The last birthday I celebrated with him was when he turned 30. So I pretty much missed his whole 30s. And I actually didn't even celebrate. Well, I celebrated in our way. We did something, but he had a pig roast party at his house that none of his siblings were invited to. That should have been a red flag right there. Oh, well. So it was an emotional day, but it was good. I was really sad that I wasn't in New York between the knee and the money. So I really didn't have the money to travel, like, as an injured person, first class. Like, I didn't have airfare or money to get, like, ride to airport sort of situation. And I couldn't drive the whole way. And I would prefer to drive because it's less expensive. There is wear and tear on your car, and even with an oil change or like a tune-up, it still could be cheaper to drive than it is to fly sometimes. Plus you fly, you get there, you have to rent a car anyway and have a place to stay and all this stuff. So unfortunately I missed a wedding and my uncle's 75th birthday party, as well as they had a little something at a bar for my brother's birthday yesterday. So all of those things. And my sister came from Las Vegas. And so basically everybody was there but me. And I really got like, it was an overwhelmingly emotional weekend. I was very grateful that Lisa was here. And she had taken me to Texas to not wallow home the fact that I couldn't go to the wedding. Does that make sense? I know I said that I paid for the gas and I paid for her piece of furniture to compensate taking my car, but I kid you not, it costs less. Well, even if I had driven my car, but because her car's a Prius, it cost us about $60 to get to Texas and about $55 to get back for 3 of us, including food was less than $100 each way. And there's no way I would have gotten to New York on $200, you know? If I was driving, if I could drive the 20 hours or 18 hours or whatever, then yes. But I couldn't afford that, you know, extra. So I just was really sad. I missed the wedding in 2016 because of circumstances beyond my control. And then this, of course, then missing it again. And I was so, when I went to the funeral, I was so excited for the wedding. It was supposed to be in February, but because of the pandemic, they found out about the time of the wedding. About the time of the funeral, that they had to postpone it and they didn't know what day they were going to pick. And they were trying to get a different date, the same venue. And it was one of those things that the venue was like just packed because it's so popular. And plus it was a destination wedding because we all live on Long Island, but she's from like upstate New York, sort of New Jersey border area. And that's where the wedding was. So it was like, to go to the wedding, I would have had to like not only travel expenses to get there, a hotel to stay, travel expenses to get home, a gift. It just was way beyond my means right now. Plus with the, like I said, I would have had to have had a more expensive way to go because of my leg. So I was just, I was really sad. I was really sad. Lisa, yeah, left yesterday, and I will now tell you the mattress story, if you got a minute. I'm going to do a quick version of it. On May 31st, I ordered a mattress from QVC because we have a QVC card, and they would allow me to do flex payments. So I was like, okay, great. We'd have this thing paid off in 6 months, and that'd be great. So I was going to go to Aaron's. They do 120 days, same as cash, which is really good because they put the shipping into the value and they actually install it for free. So you don't have to pay for shipping, and you can up your value and that whole thing. So we shopped around and we found that this mattress was the best reviewed one we could afford. And it was on sale for $524. But they charge you for shipping and handling, $75 for shipping and handling. So it ended up being $600. So plus the tax was like, yeah, so like, that's what I was going to say. Cause I was like, wait, something's not right. So I ordered it on May 31st. I called about June 10th because it said it was estimated shipping date was June 8th. And it said it hadn't left. They created the label, but it hadn't been picked up yet. I was like, okay. So I called on June 10th and I got the lady who said, what did the website say? Or basically pretty much just like check. And I don't know if she was new or she was having a bad day or whatever, but I was like, okay. So I talked to Lisa and she said, that's not right. Because Lisa worked in customer service forever. And she's like, you should call back and maybe you'll get somebody who knows an answer to something. So I called back on July 1st. Because at this point, I'm like, I'm just waiting and waiting. And I really didn't have any place to put the mattress anyway. Because we were still working on the floor and that kind of thing. But Lisa was going to be coming on July 4th. By July 1st, we knew that she'd be here like on the 6th, we thought. So she was coming and we had to get our bed set up by then, because then she'd have no place to sleep. So I call on July 1st. I speak to the loveliest lady who said, I'm so sorry. Nobody should have told you that. It looks like there's a problem. Let's just return it and order you a new one. I said, okay. So she ordered me a new one. It says it's going to be here on the 12th, which of course I'm not going to be in Missouri on the 12th. So I have to call my mom, my mom's friend, and see if she can come over and help mom get it in the house. I said to mom, it should be in a box with handles. That's usually how they do it. I figured you could each grab a handle and just pull or push or whatever you can do to get it in. She's like, okay, no problem. And my friend said, no problem. So meantime, what we did, I think I mentioned that we ended up putting the old queen size mattress on the new frame in the bedroom, and Jim slept on that, and I slept on the king with Lisa in the bedroom. And we left to go back to Texas, and the mattress came, and mom said it was really heavy and hard to get in the house. And I said, I'm so sorry. And she said, well, that's not even the problem. She's like, it's in the plastic, and the plastic is ripped. And where they laid it, it got rained on. And I was like, what? I'm very confused. Like, here I am thinking it's in a box. If you watch the little video on QVC, they open the box. They give you like a little letter opener to open the plastic. It was wrapped in plastic and with the label stuck on it. There was no return paperwork. There's no invoice, nothing. So I have a video, and you guys will see the video. So I'm not trying to get into details, but not only was the plastic ripped like in one spot, but the bottom end was open, and that's the way they laid it. The top end was sealed, but the bottom end was opened. So it sat dirty, oozing out of this mattress, oozing out of this container, crazy. So we brought it in, we set it up, and it was filthy, and it was like a little like worn already. And I slept on it for 2 nights thinking like, look, something about me, I don't really like to complain. And I know that sounds crazy for some of you, could think I just do nothing but complain. But I really don't. I don't return food normally unless it's like really unbearable, unless it's from mom. Because when mom orders something specific, if they don't do it specifically, then she won't eat it and she needs to eat, Me, I'll just eat it. Like, I ordered this medium rare, but it's kind of medium. I don't care. Medium's okay. So I usually don't complain, but this was like, I laid on it and it was the most uncomfortable mattress for me, in my opinion, for us. It said it was medium plush. So to me, I thought that it was like firm, medium, plush. No, it's firm, like standard, and then medium plush is between standard and plush. Plush being squishy. It was so not supportive. I couldn't even roll over in it. It just wasn't good for us. It wasn't good for me as a plus size person. So I called and I said, look, between the fact that it's uncomfortable and it came in a disaster, and it wasn't cheap. So it's not like I'm keeping this crappy mattress. Actually, the first night, I slid off of it. I went to go roll over. The way they described it is that it was a hybrid. So it had coils in the middle, foam on the edge, and a gel topper. Well, coils in the middle, great. Foam edge was so wide that I couldn't sit on the bed. I just compressed the foam. They didn't have coils, like, it wasn't 4 inches of foam on the edge. It was like 10 inches of foam on the edge. So I called QVC. I waited online. After I talked to the bank and to IKEA, I waited on hold for an hour and 20 minutes, and I was not hanging up. And I apologized to Lisa. She's like, if you want to go to IKEA, we got to go soon. I was like, I have got to finish this phone call. And I called the lady at QVC. She was so kind. She said, you should not accept that at all. And I was so grateful. And I just said, I don't know how to return it. She said, let me look up something. She goes, that is one of our non-returnable items. And I was like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? And she's like, you're going to get a full refund. And you don't have to worry about it, like getting rid of it. I mean, I'm returning it. So I was like, I was grateful for that because I wasn't sure how I was going to, how do you return a king-size mattress in the mail when it comes to you compressed? So what we did, we went to IKEA, got stuff. Lisa left Tuesday morning. We went in and we started preparing for putting the IKEA bed on. So I went in and stripped the guest room bed because our plan was, a temporary plan, was to put it's called Lucid is the name of the brand, the Lucid mattress on the guest room bed because we didn't really have any place to put it and we haven't really come up with what we're going to do with it. I don't know if we're going to give it away, donate it, or what. So we moved that to on top of the other mattress. By the way, Jimmy, when we were done, Jimmy's like, okay, Princess and the Pea, go ahead and get in the bed. So then I filmed it all for you. We fixed up the room and then we set up the mattress. So you guys will see that all in the video. But last night I had a really good night's sleep. And today I have the doctor's appointment. So while Lisa was here, I called the doctor and I made an appointment. I actually messed up. I think I mentioned it in the previous vlog. I can't remember if I mentioned the previous vlog. I looked up on my insurance for orthopedics to look up an orthopedist. And that's not what I did. I found two. I told you one was in St. Louis, one was Springfield. Orthopedics. When I called the number in St. Louis to see if they had a traveling doctor that came into town, she answered the phone, orthopedists and prosthetics. And I was like, what? So I zoom in, I click on the page and I zoom into the thing, and that's exactly what it was. This was the place where you go get orthotics. I don't know why. To me, orthotics or like the devices. So I said I had to look up orthopedic surgeons. That's what I had to look up. So I did, and there's one right here. My insurance company said I didn't need a referral, but the clinic that I go to says I need a referral. So I actually have to see my regular doctor today, which I'm really happy about. I love her. I'm just going to be like, doctors, I'm just falling apart. I'm just falling apart. So we'll see how that goes. And then we have grocery pickup tonight. Just a couple of staple items that, like creamer and milk, like just basically stuff that had expired. Not expired, but we needed to get since we came home. Coffee. We're out of coffee. Got last two pods in this cup or something. Yeah, that's it. I'm super grateful for you guys for just wanting to listen to me, tell my stories, crying with me, laughing with me. I heard a really amazing quote, and I wanted to tell it to you here because not all of you have Instagram, but Jeri-Ann Roche, and you guys know who she is. She's sent me such beautiful things and cards and letters over the years. She posted a woman who calls herself Songbird? Lightbird. I think that's right. She was on America's Got Talent. She has cancer, and she sang the most beautiful original song. And I don't want to spoil it for you, but in case it hasn't been on TV. Well, I guess if it hasn't been on TV, it wouldn't be on the internet. Never mind. She got a golden buzzer from Simon and made him cry. But she had the most beautiful quote, and it said, "You can't wait till there aren't any more. You can't wait till there, you can't wait till there aren't any more hard times to be happy." And I thought that was just something that I needed to hear and that I needed to share. It was the most amazing, inspiring story of this woman who just like Mary, just like they give you this terrible thing that's happened to you in your life, and you're just going to smile all the time and find the joy in the moment. And I just felt like I had woken up a little bit. So thank you, Jeri-Ann, if you're watching. I really do appreciate you guys. I'd like to leave you with that quote. And as always, Take care. God bless. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Where would we drop it?
I'm pretty sure it went this way because I had it up here. You can go that way. I figured you have to go the other way. Do you see it? Aw, honey, don't mess your hair up. Oh, you messed your hair up. Come here. Oh, I didn't want you to do that. Oh, let me see. Here. Put just a tiny bit on your, really just a tiny bit. Less than a pea. And rub your hands together and how much did you get? Because I need some too. Did you pour too much?
No.
Oh, perfect, yeah. Do most of the sides, because there you go. All right, much better. Thank you so much for everything.
Yeah.
Making your coffee now?
I just did.
Oh, sweet deal. You need a fork. Put that one to get dishwasher. Now, let's see what this mess looks like. First we do Jim's hair, then we do my hair. Oh, goodness. Okay. That's weird. This guy's still up here.